The New York Knicks are expected to offer Fred VanVleet a huge contract, a contract that he probably can't decline. What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to talk about with you guys. This time actually revolving around the current reports that the Knicks are expected to offer Raptors unrestricted free agent Fred VanVleet a hefty deal worth over $22 million per year. This is all being reported by Legend Hoops. Now, I think this is a very, very interesting deal, and this is honestly a contract that Fred VanVleet really can't decline. I mean, surely there is no way he could be getting anywhere near this money on the Toronto Raptors. Not just that, this is a time for him to really become a star on really his own team, and I just think it would be a pretty interesting match. Now, I was pretty kind of confused, I think, on the previous video, that I talked about Fred VanVleet, just based on the fact that we have heard a lot of news, and really news that has been often reported as almost confirmed at this point, that the Knicks really have offered a deal to try and get Chris Paul to the team. They have offered OKC a trade. Look, that looks to be a confirmed report at this, point. We do know the rumors of the Knicks being highly interested in Chris Paul are, very, very true. And it's kind of got me really interested in what is the direction that the Knicks are actually looking to try and take here. Are they going for Fred VanVleet at point guard, or are they going for Chris Paul at point guard, or is it really the one that no one's really thinking of? Are they going to try and have a backcourt of Chris Paul and Fred VanVleet? I feel like no one's really talked about that possibility so far. A lot of people have talked about, really the possibility of they're going to sign/trade for either one of them at this point. I know there is a huge debate upon Knicks fans on who is the better player for them to potentially try and trade for. I'm going to break it down on really the pros and cons of each one of these players. Now, I do believe that they will most likely look to try and trade for one or the other. I don't think they're going to really try and combine both of these players up and have a backcourt of 2 point guards. We've seen the Raptors do it with VanVleet with a good defender in Kyle Lowry. It's obviously confirmed at this point that Fred VanVleet can play, a double guard system with another point guard. So it's not like giving it a try would be such a huge experiment, as it would most likely still work. I just don't necessarily know if they will do it. Now, the pros and cons on each player are Fred VanVleet is a very, very exciting player. He is still pretty young. I would say he is going into his prime right about now. So this would be, the perfect opportunity for him to go and join a different team and have his own team and, be pretty much the number 1/number 2 guy again on his own team. He is going to be going in with this, and you will be able to potentially lock him up for long term. He also, again, he's 26, turning 27, so I'd say he's going into his prime now. He played all 54 games, started on 54, 35.7 minutes per game, 17.6 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, 6.6 assists from 39% from 3. So he does solve a lot of issues that the Knicks do have. Obviously, shooting-wise, the Knicks aren't exactly the greatest team. 39% from 3 does very much bring this in. They're also not a very good team when it comes to playmaking. 6.6 assists per game. And I definitely feel like he'll be able to bump that up, considering he'll have the ball, a lot more than what he did with the Raptors. That, is also another really big one that they can bring on. Now, Fred VanVleet is a pretty decent defender. I mean, it's not like he's great. It's not like he's bad. He obviously played a small ball backcourt with Kyle Lowry, so he's obviously, showed the capability of doing that. While there is a massive con that I feel like is his contract that he will most likely be offered by the Knicks. Now, $22 million, I believe that will obviously be on 4 years. I think that is too much for a player like VanVleet, who is pretty unproven. Again, he could definitely come in and be a very great player on that $22 million. But I also feel like the Raptors will be offering about $15 million or so per season, which is a deal that I definitely think he will consider. Now, let's just say that he doesn't ever reach the potential that Knicks fans, do want him to be. I definitely feel like he will. But if he's going to accept a $22 million deal, which will most likely get, bigger as the seasons go. So on his 4th year, he could be on like $28 million or something like that. which is what potentially most likely will happen unless they decide to get him on $22 million for the 4 years. If they do get him on a deal like that, then I still feel like he will be very, very overpaid, even if he actually does get a little bit better. I still feel like teams like the Raptors are going to be offering him $15 million, with him still being a big chance to sign, is the appropriate contract, and he's definitely what he is definitely worth and should most likely be signing on. Now, that's pretty much his only con. I mean, there's a lot of pros with this player, and he would be perfect for the Knicks, really, because it's not like he's old. He is heading into his prime right now, and will be a really nice addition for these young players. While if we look at Chris Paul, there are a lot of pros on Chris Paul as well. Chris Paul has obviously shown that really he can be the number one guy on a team while being in the playoffs. Like, I mean, he took the Houston Rockets to 7 games when he was expected to have a 0.2% chance, I believe, to make the playoffs with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He did all of this while being at 35, averaging 17.6 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6.7 assists, 36% from 3 in 31 minutes per game. I definitely feel like he will, if he doesn't get injured, so that's a con, obviously, is he does have injury issues, but he hasn't really had any throughout this whole entire season. So, again, I wouldn't worry about him getting injured too much. He is one of the best leaders in the NBA, one of the greatest leaders, and if you're looking for a player to help improve this young core, this is the guy to go out and get. He's obviously a great playmaker. He's a great three-point shooter. He's arguably the best mid-range shooter in the game, while also being a very, very good defender. He is one of the complete packages for a player like him at his age. There's only a couple of cons. Again, his injury issue in the past, that is definitely one. But also, the fact that his contract is pretty huge. Now, again, I believe after this season, he'll only have, I think, 2 years left. So if he's only got 2 years, yes, he'll be getting about $40 million or so. But in my opinion, I don't really see that big contract as too much of a con, just based on the fact that it's only 2 years. And if you can get a all-star caliber player in Chris Paul, who's a complete player really for his age, for only, for the 2 years, and yes, you're going to have to overpay him for 2 years, but this is the time for the Knicks to finally improve all these younger players and get their roster up to what it should, be, to a playoff contender. I think, Chris Paul is the player they should be targeting. I've said it for a long time. I am in love with the move of Chris Paul to the Knicks, and I think it would be a great move. But again, VanVleet would also be a very, very nice move. And I think the last thing Knicks fans would probably be wanting, though, is having VanVleet and Paul both in the backcourt, but both of them being seriously overpaid. Like, imagine, let's just think about it like this. Imagine in 2 years from now, they've got Chris Paul on about $44 million or something like that, and VanVleet on like $26 million. That's literally like nearly half of your cap, if not half of your cap, on two players that I don't know if they should be getting anywhere near this money. But, of course, I do like both of them. I would say Chris Paul is my preferred option, but I definitely know a lot of people may disagree on me with that one. But again, I do think it's very interesting that the Knicks are looking to offer Fred VanVleet a huge contract, which will be, as it says, $22 million per year. But I have a feeling that will definitely go up as the years, do go on, because it's going to take a lot of convincing to lure him from the Raptors, considering his Raptor deal may, go to $22 million or so on its 4th year deal as well. So it's going to be extremely interesting to potentially see how this all does work out, and I'm definitely interested to see which player the New York Knicks do look to, kind of go out and get, because it's obviously pretty clear now that they will be offering both of these players, a trade/contract. So I'm interested to see who they come out with. I really have a big feeling that the Knicks will come out with at least one of these players. If they don't come out with either of these players, that is a pretty big failure. But anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for the latest NBA content and NBA news. Of course, don't forget to comment in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts and opinions on this? Do you guys think it would be a good idea for the Raptors to go out and get Fred VanVleet? Do you guys, the Knicks, sorry, rather, do you guys think it'd be a bad idea, or do you guys think they should just go out and get Chris Paul? Again, I definitely would really like to know your thoughts and opinions on this all down below, but also don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/flowing channel. Definitely don't forget to subscribe to them. Links for them will be in the description down below, but also don't forget to check out my podcast as well if you haven't already. Links for that will also be in the description down below. But as I was saying, I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.